I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do it.
All these men who are in there that were Jewish, they all have black things.
They did?
But they didn't have to make it.
I agree.
Test.
But like I said, yeah,
Free food? Just looking at these steps going down, doing these steps. Yeah. Oh, I have heard. Thank you very much. I always tell people, I said, sometimes watch every news. That's why I carry it. Bring it up and stuff. And you got the fish here. And then I outlined all the
Doing really early. Really. I'm not aware. You mean you might throw them off? Yes. On the air, no. Nobody's working. Yeah. Or, hey, I watch you guys all the time. What time do you get? Here's a quiz for you. Make sure we just say that every single person. You gotta be on high TV. I'll show up at game time with a six-pack and a bag of burritos, and we'll find out. I'll be there right before kickoff. Yeah, make sure you have those. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing great. What yourself? You're excited about this proposed two ellipses?
Oh, I don't think it's proposed.
Discussed?
I need a shortstop, but I don't know how I feel about giving up that.
That'd be a lot. I can always go to a bar and watch you. Braves are playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 6 years older than
I
Braves.
saw your picture on Facebook.
Chris? How's it going? Good. I'm going to announce it today, but I have no plan. I'm ready to do anything. I'll be able to exchange. Across the grave. Yeah, that's not good. So we're going to announce it today. Today, good. I would have said that's what I said. Yep. Yeah. Got it. Well, Sunday, to be honest, I did. Not really tears. That was like, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go down at some point. Friday, I'm not sure exactly when, but do stuff on Friday pretty early. So what are you doing? Some more stuff. I think we're gonna host one of those. Oh, yeah. And I would just have to it's a sport, but gotta go across country. Oh, that sticks. So, that really sticks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably go to dinner with my sister. Yeah. Start. I think I've been there. Is it over by the? Is that over by like the courtyard of Vandy? Yeah, I've been there. It's a good place. It's where we were the night that Whitney Houston died, because they were playing nothing but Whitney Houston. They have sitting I assume there's more to it than chocolate. Terrified that the Cardinals are going to get 2 this week. I did. It was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was, but nobody got it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, nobody Cardinals. So that was kind of easy, like it's gonna be.
It's the only solution. Yeah, I guess the guess on talking then was here again in a second. Like,
But it was actually like.
well, at least Jeff Passan says, did you watch it, guys? Yeah. Ebony watched the last two. But that was like, that started with
Fox in Georgia at 7 p.m.
Okay, ready to go with our news conference for today. Taking a look at the home sports schedule for this week. Both of the basketball teams will have home action. Game is women. And here to tell us is it's and special first 8 games, but critical play in special teams, and in this past game we had at least 4.
opportunity for us. So we're excited to get back to work. It was a tough day to get through that film this past Sunday, but we're on to Vandy, and looking forward to our preparation here this week for Vandy.
Talk about how tough it is to keep this team focused, because you can tell, I guess after that turnover and not scoring, seemed like we took a step back and lost focus.
Yeah, it is. It's just it's focus, and it's just little things. We're not good enough to not play at our very best, and there were a number of things in that game that we didn't respond to very well, and we need to learn how to do that, and we need to play our very best to play with a team as explosive as Missouri. And it was a little bit deflating. I thought that was a critical moment after we got the turnover and didn't get anything out of that. Yeah. And so it was tough, and there are just a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of things we could look at, and I could bounce around, and there's a lot of things that changed the way the game's being played. And early on, I thought we were hanging tough. We talked about starting stronger, starting faster. I thought we did that, but then again, a few mistakes here and there really hurt us. I thought even after that, when we were moving the ball, had the ball out to the 40, and we got the holding call on Jordan, I believe, and brought us back, and then we shanked the punt and gave him field position. It kind of went downhill. We lost it very quickly there in the second quarter.
Mark, Neal said that the offense has been sort of desperate for somebody to take the reins and show some leadership, and that maybe, talking about positives, maybe Jalen has finally started to do that.
I think so. I really I think most people recognize that he made a conscious effort to be tough and to lead that offense. I thought he did that at times. I really did. He's not perfect, but he's tried awfully hard, and he showed a lot of toughness in that game and had some good runs, and is doing some better things.
Maybe we see some things and think we see what we truly are not. But did you have, I wouldn't say confrontation, but some discussion with Jalen early on about maybe asking him to come out, and you seemed to walk away from him a couple times to allow him to make his own decision?
About what?
His hand was hurt or something. He kind of looked to the sidelines a couple times, but he never came out. No.
No, I didn't.
He was communicating with the sidelines that he was hurt, and kind of.
No, I was not communicating with him at all. I was talking with Neal to get the next play in. I told him let's get on with it. But no, there was no communication between he and I about coming out or anything like that. No.
What else do you guys need from him? Like when you watch him on film, what are the things that you guys are telling him that you need more of? Or more?
Well, to continue to make good decisions is a big thing. There's our offense, as a lot of offenses in this day and age, you have options, and the quarterback has to make that decision very quickly. And he's got to make the right decisions with the football of what plays to get into. I think that's a big part of it. I think we're improving in that area. And then, to hit some open receivers, at times we're just a little bit inconsistent in our execution of the pass game.
What about Ryan Timmons? You think you could get him back this week?
I hope so. We're going to see. That's what we're shooting for. He's going to be out there working with our trainers today and running around a little bit, and the idea is to try to get him out there tomorrow.
Mark, clearly you've had to play a lot of young guys all season, but with 3 games left, you may need to give those guys more time to kind of prepare for next year to see what they can do.
Well, yes, I think we have to. We got to continue to build our program and develop our young guys, and yes, we will do that. And Jaleel got a bunch of snaps last week. It looks like he may have to play a little bit more again this week, so we'll see how he does. Even the guys that are redshirting, we will work with them and bring them along and get them up to speed. I think for 2 reasons. We need to know exactly where they're at and where they're going to be in the spring, and just to continue to work with those guys. I mean, we're going to prepare to win. I'm talking about depth, and just in how we go about our practice, and just continue to work with those guys.
Mark, you were able to play Hatcher a little bit more.
Yeah.
Did he look like he lost much?
He's that was the best he's played in a while, because he's playing with that hand, in the previous weeks, I've been saying it, that we need to play him more and bring him along, and we want to. It's hard for him to play in our 4-down stuff where he's on the ground, because we have to use our hands so much at D-line, and he's had that big club on him. With the 3-4 stuff where he's up moving around, he's been able to do some of that, and So we need to continue to bring him along and work with him. And he got good snaps last week, and he is getting better. To answer your question, he is. That we're able to trim that cast down a little bit more and have a little bit more function with his hand.
You have to be especially mindful of sort of the mentality of your older guys, your seniors, after a week like this, as now that, a bowl is obviously
Sure.
Eliminated mathematically. It's going to be a losing season.
Yeah, I think you do. I think I really like the mentality of our senior class. I don't think, there's not a guy in that group that's going to lay down. I think they'll work extremely hard and help turn the page in this program. I think they take pride in that and wanting to help be a part of turning it around and building for the future.
Has it been made clear to the quarterback, specifically Willow, that what he does over the next 3 weeks could impact his spot on the depth chart next spring?
No. I mean, we always go about our business. I mean, it's no different than any other day. He knows he's got to perform. We're just looking to get him better. I mean, every guy on our program knows we need to improve at every position, and he's no different. So he knows he needs to continue to work.
Mark, do you feel you're at a crossroads of this particular season as far as where you go up, back, or stay where you are?
I don't feel like we're at a crossroads. I just feel like it's, I understand it. It's tough. It's frustrating. I mean, I get up on Sunday. I'm frustrated. I admitted it after the game. I was frustrated during the game. There's plays in there. And I go back and I look at everything we're doing, and we all do. We're very critical of ourselves, and we know we could do things better. That's for sure. And you look at some plays, and you see a lot of good plays out there. And I saw some plays that we didn't have very good matchups on. And we ain't going to win those battles right now all the time. But I saw a good percentage of plays that were good football plays. And that I have to build on. That we have to build on. And that we have to learn to put it, play 100% of those plays as best we can. And then we have an opportunity to beat a top 10 team. Until then, we have no chance to beat a top 10 team. If we play 80% of our snaps on one side of the ball or the other, that's pretty effective. That 20% is going to get you beat. So.
Alabama's a bad matchup for everybody.
Right.
Was Missouri a particularly bad matchup for you, just considering what their strengths were?
Yeah, I think they're a difficult matchup also for a lot of people. I really do, offensively and defensively. They're just they're a complete team right now. They're very explosive. You could see little mistakes. You feel very good when you get some stops against them. And then you have to put it together, move the ball, score some points, and just keep it a very manageable game. You turn it over, a shank punt here, a block punt there, and then it could get out of hand real quick because there's a lot of good plays in there. I thought our run defense, we played them as good as anybody. I know they hit the long run that skewed the statistics, but if you just look at how we fundamentally played them, I was proud of that. We gave up the long run. That's something that's very easily corrected. But the rest of it, fundamentally, toughness, responsibility, our hands and our feet, I thought we did some very good things, as good as anybody played them, in the run game.
Coach, the special teams, like you said, have been the most consistent all year. Is there
Pardon me? The special team, yeah.
Is there one thing that you can kind of pinpoint on how everything's kind of
how it fell apart? Well, I think we've done a nice job. It's no mystery. We don't have the depth that we need to have, and that's not an excuse. That's a fact. We're running out of bodies to play defensive back in that last game. We were just running out of guys. You start taking those guys off special teams and you have other guys in there. Coach Pivato's done a great job with what he's had to work with. And I thought those guys have really worked hard. Our players have bought in and worked hard and have been effective in special teams. We weren't so effective this past week, and they just didn't play good enough. And we had an assignment mistake on the block punt, and that cost you. And you can't ever have those. I mean, those change. Those win and lose games for you. I'm not saying that one play changed this game, but it certainly can. And we just didn't play as well. And the kickoff coverage unit was not nearly as good as we've been. We got blocked, and they made somebody miss. You make one guy miss, and it's an extra 60, 70 yards. That doesn't help either. And again, that was one of our DBs was out of that spot where he makes it in the first kickoff for basically 3 or 4 extra yards early in the game. We have somebody, a freshman in there later, and it's an extra 70.
Mark, what do you say to the fan who, just like he was frustrated?
Pardon me?
What do you say to the fan who, just like he was frustrated?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I understand. I understand their frustrations, what I say. I appreciate your support. I appreciate them being there. And, I think they've been very fair. I know they're frustrated because they haven't been here 9-10 months. They've been here 9-10 years or 20 years or 30 years, and they want to see things changed. I recognize that, and I understand that. And, the only thing I ask them is continue to stay with this team because, again, I'm not ever one to make excuses. It's just a fact. We have some work to do. I've never said since day one I was going to come in here and change it overnight. I promised you to work extremely hard, and the players will work extremely hard to build this program the right way to get better. That's what we're going to continue to do. And I appreciate the people that have stuck with us, and I know it's tough. And, it takes a lot of people to be successful, and I think there's a lot of people pulling in the same direction, and we need to continue to have that.
There were quite a few calls that you seem to have some questions about in that game. Did you talk to the SEC and get any answers?
I did not. Just staying away from that. Just moving on to Vanderbilt. It's just on to Vandy, and it's just tough. It is what it is. We have a tough time overcoming things. We've got to coach better. We got to play better. I can't make, that's no excuse there.
You came out and set a tone at the beginning of the second half, running the ball, and your kids obviously responded. You talked about getting off to a fast start. Going forward, how do you make that work?
Well, I made that point very clear at halftime. I was tired of going the wrong way. We were going to go forward. And that was a way to go forward and not take sacks and negative yardage plays and move in the wrong direction.
Coach, what kind of challenges do you face against Vandy?
I think, they've been just a good football team across the board, not flashy in any area, just good, sound, fundamental football team, and they play very smart. And they're a good team. I think they've been very efficient at quarterback. They have the wideout that's lighting it up. Jordan Matthews is one heck of a player, and defensively they play very hard. Just like last week, they made some great plays in certain situations that set them up to win the game, and they've just been a good, solid football team.
Do you ever look at Vandy as kind of a program to kind of draw comparisons to as far as turning the SEC?
Yeah, I'd certainly look at them, and I compare it to back when we were at Arizona and everything, when you're just doing the very best you can with what you got, and just trying to play good football. And like I've told you guys, and that's what's frustrating. You talk about that, whether it be to the fans or other people and everything else. We've resembled a good football team at times. We just got to put it all together and play a complete game. I think we're making strides, and that's frustrating to everybody. You just, like I said, you can't play 80%, good and beat a good football team. Beat really anybody.
You talk about, everybody talks about Florida State, your background there, but you mentioned Arizona. What are the parallels to what you're going through now, to what you and your brother went through at Arizona?
Yeah, it was very similar. It was, it was very hard. It's very hard to go through this. But I've said it before. I know what I was getting into. You know what I mean? Sure, we come in here to prepare to win every game, and I don't care who we're playing. That's where the frustration sets in, because you're competitive and you want to win. But it is similar. You just, you got to get to the point where you play good football, across the board, just good, sound football in all phases, coaching to play the right way. What I take some salvation is when I turn on that film and I see good, sound football. And I see that for maybe 80%. And I know that's not good enough to the common fan or whatever, but I see us coaching and putting them in a position, and I see the players execute, and I see them playing hard. I see some good plays. I know there's progress being made, even though that's very difficult to see on the scoreboard and all that. But I know when we're moving forward and when we're getting better and when we're not. And we have our limitations, and we all have to overcome them and do a better job. But I think you just get to the point where you play good football across the board.
Mark, you see the piece of 60 Minutes with Saban, and what thing, if you did see it.
I saw the first part. I think there was 2 parts. I didn't see the second part.
The second part was
Yeah.
on CBS 60 Minutes.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
On cable.
Yeah.
What are the similarities did you take away from that? Did you see in him season?
Well, what I really admire about Coach Saban, and it's so true, there's some simple there's many things he does. I mean, he does things right now in our profession, better than anybody, point blank. And so, but the things that I like about it, so there's some simple things in there. Do your job. I mean, there's things that show up in that game Saturday that you want to pull your hair out because you're very frustrated, because those are things we could control. Those are things that get very frustrating. Those are things that are a reflection of coaching that I have to change. If you're responsible for doing something, do it. And then we can move on to other things. Does that make sense? And that's a simple thing, but it's so true. Then there's so many issues that's hard for me to get into with all that. But I think when he talks about going his business and controlling the things you control, I really try to, take a lot to that, and have our guys do the same thing. And that's where you talk about getting here and our record and all that. I mean, I can't worry about that today. You know what I mean? I was frustrated yesterday. It's hard. Sundays are hard. But then today, it's not, because it's on to the next game. It's on to the preparation. It's on to preparing for Vandy. And I want our team to be the same way. And that's where, for a coach, you could hold on to those snaps that are good, the things we're doing good. Some things we can't change. You know what I mean? A 6'6" receiver jumping over our heads, plucking the ball out of the air. We can't change it. One of those throws, we had two guys on him. I mean, and other ones are bad matchups. So that's just where it's at. So, those are some things that that I think he believes in. Along with many other great qualities that he has. But some simple things that we can do right now, and so.
I guess the best way to combat those matchups is back to recruiting the players who can match up.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think even Coach, Pinkel, I think, said that after the game too. I mean, you could scheme up things all, 1,000 different ways. Throw it up to a big guy that makes a great play. That's good recruiting. and that's taking nothing away. You know that. I mean, because they do a lot of good things, and he has for a long time. Coach has done a great job for a long time. But they are tough to match up with. And
how is your secondary? How banged up are you?
We're a little banged up, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes this week.
Mark, we ask you this every week, but do you know James Franklin? What about him do you think has allowed him to do things at Vandy that
Yeah.
other coaches?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't followed him that well. I knew him a bit. We played each other, I believe, when I was at Florida State, and he was at Maryland the one year, and then he came here, and they've done a great job. I mean, obviously, he's got everybody buying in, and he's got a bunch of players that are playing very fundamentally sound and playing hard, and that's a compliment to coaching.
They beat Florida with only 183 yards of total offense. What does it tell you about a team when they can get a win?
Well, obviously you've got a lot of toughness within your team if you could do that, and obviously the turnovers helped them a great deal, and that's very good plays by them, and they set up I think 2 inside the 5 and 1 inside the 22. So.
How are they doing that? Are they doing anything in particular to force turnovers? They've had a lot the last 3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
they just play hard and they play good. They really do, and they do. I mean, if you watch the game, you could see the plays. I mean, one was a deflection off a wide receiver. Other ones that were good plays. And just.
Mark, in my function, I catch all the praises after the game.
Pardon me?
In my function, I catch all the praises after the game.
Yeah.
And,
I catch my fair share. but I understand.
I
Yeah.
think you said a lot of it today, but when you hear things like, well, they've thrown it in. When you're not playing the players they think you ought to play and you're losing, the team's thrown in the towel. What do you say to those things?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't listen to that. I mean, I know our team's not throwing in the towel. It's just like I said, the long run afterwards. Most people say, oh, they quit. They ran right up the middle. No, we just had a simple, person out of a gap, and a guy came down too aggressive to make a good play, and 2 guys are outside, nobody's in the middle, you got an issue. And our backside safety got cut off by the official, and it's just gone, and that looks bad. I understand that, but that's not it. I mean, do I think we could play harder? Yes. I think we could play smarter? Yes. Do I think we could coach better? Yes. I understand all that, but definitely this team's not cashing it in. And you know, we're not perfect. We're playing the best guys we can to help us win. Believe me, you know, we understand the seriousness of having a successful football program, and we'll play anybody we can that could help us win.
Mark, you've got Vandy could become bowl eligible Saturday. You guys can stop that. They're calling it their Super Bowl. You feel like your kids will have that emotion?
That means nothing to me. I don't know. I mean, whatever motivates our kids, fine, but that won't be something I talk about. I mean, that means nothing to me whether that's good for us to stop them from going to bowl game. I mean, we need to win for us, for our fans, for all the things we're just talking about, for our people and, you know, and our kids and our program. And that's motivation enough for me.
Folks, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Coach, just got word on the Georgia game.